All right, let's journey back. I mean, way back, thousands of years, to explore one of the most ancient and influential periods in Indian history, the Vedic Age. Together, we're going to dive into some truly sacred texts, get to know the people who lived by them, and really unpack the big ideas that shaped an entire civilization. So, let's get started.
We're starting with this powerful idea from ancient India for a reason. It just perfectly sets the stage, because the Veda culture that we're about to explore, it placed its highest value not on gold or land, but on knowledge. And this one principle, that true wealth is what you know, that's the key to understanding everything that's coming next.
So, where did this intense focus on knowledge even come from? Well, it all starts with a collection of texts that are, believe it or not, among the oldest in the entire world. Let's unlock the secrets of the Vedas.
It's the most basic question, right? So let's just tackle it head on. What exactly are the Vedas? I mean, are they books, are they histories, or are they something else entirely?
Well, the answer is actually hidden right there in the name. The word Veda comes from the Sanskrit root vid, which literally means knowledge. So, the Vedas are, quite simply, texts of knowledge. But here's the interesting part. They weren't originally written down. Nope, they were this vast collection of thousands of hymns, beautiful poems and songs composed to praise different deities and explore the very nature of the universe.
And this knowledge wasn't just one giant book. It was carefully organized into 4 distinct collections, or Vedas. You've got the Rig Veda, which is the oldest one, full of these amazing hymns of praise. Then there's the Yajur Veda, which is more like a practical guidebook for priests on how to perform rituals. The Sama Veda, that one sets the hymns to melodies for chanting. And finally, the Atharva Veda, which deals with more everyday concerns, spells, charms, and a whole lot of practical wisdom. Each one had its own unique purpose in Vedic life.
Okay, and here is the most astonishing part. Before any of this was ever written down, it was all memorized. I mean, think about that. For thousands of years, we're talking something like 100 to 200 generations, these incredibly complex hymns were passed down from teacher to student, word for word, with almost no changes. This incredible oral tradition was kept alive by sages, both men and women known as rishis.
In fact, this tradition of chanting is so precise and so culturally important that back in 2008, UNESCO officially recognized it as a masterpiece of human heritage. It's a living, breathing link to the ancient world, and it's still practiced today. How incredible is that?
So we've met the texts, which are fascinating. But now let's meet the people. Who were these individuals composing and listening to these hymns day in and day out? Let's explore the society that flourished in the land of the Sapta Sindhu, or the 7 rivers.
So, society wasn't built around these huge, sprawling empires. It was actually built from the ground up. The most basic unit was the family, or kula. A bunch of families would form a village, or grama, and then several villages would band together to form a clan, or a jana. The Rig Veda actually mentions many of these janas, like the famous Bharatas, the Purus, and the Yadus.
And life inside these clans sounds like it was pretty vibrant and diverse. The texts tell us about farmers out in their fields, weavers creating textiles, potters shaping clay, you had carpenters, healers, priests, even dancers. And in this economy, cattle were everything. They were the primary way you measured wealth and status.
Okay, so you've got all these different clans and professions. How do you govern them? Well, the Vedic approach to power was, you might be surprised to hear, remarkably forward-thinking.
Each jana, or clan, was led by a ruler known by the term Raja. This person was the leader, right? Their job was to protect the clan and lead it in times of conflict.
But here's the million-dollar question. Was this Raja an absolute monarch? Could he just do whatever he wanted? Well, the Vedic texts suggest something very, very different.
You see, the Raja's power was kept in check by 2 really important assemblies, the Sabha and the Samiti. Now, historians still debate the exact differences between them, but what we do know from the texts is that they were both collective gatherings. Think of them as councils, places where members of the clan could come together, hash out key issues, and actually take part in decision-making.
And the crucial takeaway here is that governance was a shared responsibility. The very existence of the Sabha and Samiti meant the ruler had to listen to the people. This ancient form of participatory governance shows us that major decisions were made together, not just dictated by one person from the top.
Now, these Vedic ideas didn't just exist in a vacuum, no. They were the foundation for centuries of thought to come. As you can see from this timeline, the early Vedic period eventually led to later philosophical texts like the Upanishads, and later still influenced new thinkers like the Buddha and Mahavira, who either built upon or sometimes challenged these ancient concepts.
And that brings us to our final and maybe the most profound section. Amidst all the hymns, the rituals, the societal rules, was there a single unifying philosophical idea holding it all together? The answer is a resounding yes.
This one line from the Rig Veda is one of the most famous and influential phrases to ever come out of ancient India. Ekam sat vipra bahura vavanti. So what does it mean? Roughly, the truth is one, but the wise call it by many names. Just think about that for a second. It's this incredibly profound statement of intellectual pluralism. It suggests that while the ultimate reality is singular, it's one thing, different people can perceive it and describe it in completely different ways, and all those paths can be valid.
This single idea that you can have unity within diversity is just so important. It became a cornerstone of Indian philosophy for thousands of years, influencing countless spiritual and intellectual traditions that came after it.
And this spirit of unity wasn't just philosophical. It was social too. There's another verse from the Rig Veda that calls on people to come together, to speak together with a common mind, and to unite their purpose. It's this powerful call for dialogue and for consensus, and it totally echoes the political ideals we saw earlier with the Sabha and Samiti.
So, let's just bring it all together for a second. What have we learned? We've seen that the Vedic culture was built on this incredible foundation of ancient knowledge, passed down orally for generations. Its society was organized into clans, or janas, where power wasn't absolute but shared through assemblies. And at its very core was this profound belief that while truth is one, the paths to get there are many.
And that leaves us with one last question to think about. In our own world, which is so often marked by division, what can we learn from these ancient ideas about community, about debate, about shared governance, and about the belief in a single truth with many, many paths? It's a powerful thought to consider. Thanks so much for joining me.